Hey book readers! Today let's get into the flavors of fiction by asking what dangerous foods pair well with deadly sci-fi books. Consult your closest toxicologist and let's see what complements what. Quick PSA before we get going. These aren't serious suggestions. I'm not a serious person. Don't actually eat anything that could ever harm you. Let's start with the sweetest pairing I've got. Isaac Asimov's sci-fi classic Nightfall and the most black and white, love it or hate it treat, black licorice. The book has a fascinating premise. What if there was a world constantly soaked in sunshine, all day, for every hour of the day? And what if every couple thousand years an ultra-rare eclipse made the planet go dark? Well, the answer seems fairly obvious. The pitch black of night would be something totally unnatural to those people on that world, and they would respond in terror, creating a chaotic scene for as long as the dark lasted. But Asimov goes a step further in Nightfall. What if people on the planet knew that this eclipse, this rare event was coming? Could they avoid the pandemonium? This book uses its unique sci-fi scenario to dig into fears and hopes, as well as the power of knowledge. And as you prepare for the pitch black, what better thing to eat than the darkest, sugariest goodie you can get your hands on? Black licorice. Now I know what you're thinking, Kevin, I've eaten black licorice before and I've lived to tell the tale. Well, first, congratulations. And second, it's important to note that a nibble of this stuff won't kill you, but overindulging in it might. A study by the New England Journal of Medicine in 2020 found that a man died from eating too much black licorice. He ate something like several packages a day for a couple weeks, so yeah, that's a little too much. The FDA says that glyceric acid, probably mispronouncing that, is a sweetening compound derived from licorice root, and it can cause a drop in potassium levels in the body, which in turn might cause high blood pressure, swelling, abnormal heart rhythms, and even heart failure. Don't worry though, a lot of licorice products in the US don't actually contain licorice, but rather anise oil, which has a similar taste. Basically, just remember that man can't or woman can't live on black licorice alone. Next, we're venturing under the sea for a pairing with a combo that'll make you say H2OMG. And let's start with Sphere by Michael Crichton. The story is a psychological sci-fi thriller that follows a group of scientists as they explore a mysterious giant spaceship resting at the bottom of the South Pacific. The alien craft has a strange sphere inside it, and this sphere can bring to life the crew's worries, desires, and wildest imaginings. It's a deep dive into human psychology and the fear of the unknown. And as we all know, there are a lot of deadly creatures that live in the ocean, like vicious sharks, poisonous jellyfish, murderous mermaids. They exist. But something humans eat that can actually be fatal is fugu, also known as the pufferfish. This Japanese and Korean delicacy has a potent toxin called tetrodotoxin, making it the most poisonous fish in the sea. It's about 100 times deadlier than black widow venom. However, they're still mighty tasty, so people risk eating them. The problem is that on average, 30 people each year die because of fugu poisoning. Is the juice worth the pufferfish squeeze? Probably not, but that doesn't mean that people will stop shoving them down their face holes anytime soon. And we're going from the sea to the land for our next duo. And you know what grows on land? Bushes, shrubs, and all manner of vegetation, including everyone's favorite green thing that can easily be drawn by children, grass. Grass is also the name of the sci-fi novel written by Sherry S. Tepper, and the story is about how humanity is dealing with a mysterious plague spreading from planet to planet, except on the planet of grass. So an Earth woman is sent to this planet to figure out why in the world this world has been spared, and to see if grass, the planet, holds the secrets to a cure for this plague. The world of this book isn't just littered with little green sprigs everywhere, though. It features a complex society, a rich history, and a unique form of intelligent life. It's a fascinating yet believable alien world that takes time to understand because of its intricacies. While you're reading the deadly novel of grass and craving something slightly poisonous but used in numerous foods and drinks, I'd suggest you pop a few elderberries into your mouth. Heads up though, the seeds, stems, leaves, and roots of the black elder are all poisonous to humans. They contain a cyanide-inducing glycoside, whatever that is. Eat a lot and you'll experience a toxic buildup of cyanide, basically, making you pretty sick. We're talking nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and even a coma. My suggestion is that if you want to live to be an elder, don't eat raw elderberries. Enjoy the flavor of these dark berries in the form of teas, wines, syrups, and jams. It'll be a much safer, much sweeter experience. And lastly, we are making a tie-in between the book Scythe by Neil Shusterman and cooking. In the world of this book, there isn't disease, hunger, or death. So scythes are people with a special job. And their job is to keep the population in check by gleaning people. This means killing random people for good. They can't ever be brought back to life because this world does have that technology. It's supposed to be done in a thoughtful, respectful manner, but not all scythes stick to the script. Anyway, the book follows two reluctant apprentices who are training to become fully fledged scythes. They're learning the ins and outs of the job and the different ways of going about gleaning the population from a handful of different actual scythes. And one of these is Scythe Curie. In her little free time, Scythe Curie enjoys cooking. In fact, she makes a meal for the relatives of those people she gleans. And that led me to my final pairing. If you're reading Scythe, I'd suggest eating baked goods with nutmeg in them. That could be cakes, gingerbread, cookies, bread pudding, and more. Yes, the humble little spice known as nutmeg, something used in lots of recipes, is potentially toxic, but only if you have way too much of it. Like 99.9999% of the time, it's totally cool to add a dash of nutmeg to whatever you're whipping up. What makes nutmeg potentially dangerous is myristicin, an oil that can cause hallucinations, drowsiness, dizziness, confusion, seizures, and perhaps even death. Keep that in mind the next time that you're sprinkling a bit of nutmeg atop your eggnog this winter. There you have it, dangerous combinations of sci-fi and food. Let me know in the comments if you have any other possible pairings for this dark theme, and as always, happy reading.